May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Romans 15:13. This verse reminds us that hope is not something we muster on our own. It is a gift from God given to us through the Holy Spirit. In times of despair, when we feel overwhelmed by life's challenges, God invites us to trust in him and experience the hope that renews our strength. The Bible offers countless examples of individuals who found hope in the midst of despair. One of the most powerful examples is found in the Book of Lamentations. Jerusalem had been destroyed, and the people were suffering greatly. Yet in the midst of their mourning, the prophet Jeremiah wrote, "Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." Lamentations 3:22-23. Jeremiah's hope was anchored in God's unwavering love and mercy, even as he witnessed destruction all around him. Hope is closely tied to faith and trust in God's promises. Hebrews 11:1 tells us, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Hope is rooted in the unseen, in the promises of God that we may not yet fully experience but trust will come to pass. When we hope in God, we are not simply wishing for things to get better. We are trusting that God is actively working in our lives and in the world, even when we can't see the full picture. Isaiah 40:31 offers a beautiful picture of what happens when we place our hope in God. "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Hope gives us the strength to endure life's challenges and to rise above the difficulties we face. It doesn't eliminate the struggles, but it gives us the endurance to keep going, knowing that God is with us. In times of despair, hope also serves as an anchor for our souls. Hebrews 6:19 says, "We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure." Just as an anchor keeps a ship steady in the midst of a storm, hope keeps us grounded in God's promises when the storms of life threaten to overwhelm us. This hope is not based on our circumstances, but on the unchanging nature of God. Another powerful example of hope in the face of despair is found in the life of Job. After losing his family, his wealth, and his health, Job still placed his hope in God. In Job 13:15, he declares, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him." Job's hope was not in the restoration of his fortunes, but in God's faithfulness. Even in his deepest suffering, he trusted that God was sovereign and good. Job's story reminds us that hope is not dependent on our circumstances. It is rooted in our relationship with God. Hope also empowers us to persevere through trials. Romans 5:3-5 tells us, "We also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit." Suffering, though painful, refines our character and deepens our hope. It teaches us to rely not on our own strength, but on God's grace and love. In the New Testament, the Apostle Paul constantly encouraged the early church to hold on to hope, even in the face of persecution. In 2 Corinthians 4:16-18, Paul writes, "Therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal." Paul's hope was fixed on eternity, and it was this eternal perspective that allowed him to endure suffering with joy and perseverance. In conclusion, hope is a powerful force that sustains us in times of despair. It is rooted in God's promises and his unchanging nature. As we place our trust in him, we experience a hope that transcends our circumstances and gives us the strength to persevere. Hope anchors our souls, renews our strength, and reminds us that God is always at work, even when we can't see it. Through hope, we find peace, endurance, and the assurance that God's promises will never fail.